What's the surrender period on the 7-year?
It goes 7654321 or 2 7654321.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
1.
1. Okay.
Yes.
And the 10-year?
10-year, I'd have to look it up for you. I think it's a little bit higher. I don't have it in the top of my head. I don't have a kit with you for farmers yet. I'll give it to you.
Okay. And they can access 10% of their money after the first year.
Yes.
Okay, free.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So this is just an illustration to give you guys an idea of how it performed. This actually has our old rate on it because we just updated rates the other day.
To 6.7.
To 6.7, but 6.4 used to be the cap. So the caps went up, the spreads went down, kind of like what you were asking earlier. So
What
the
was your
market
question earlier?
If the
I said the spread had changed,
yeah,
and
I
he said, "Well, did it go up or did it
The-
go down?" I said it went down. He goes, "Good, you're trending with what the market's
yeah,
telling
when he
us
was
to
talking
do."
about the hurdle amount.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so market did back in back tested years. The S&P did 12.4. If 6.4 is the cap, you captured it. 100,000 grows to 106.4. Next year, the market did 27. Go ahead.
That's a difference. The AXA, whatever the market goes up, you earn.
Right.
So the max here is 6.7.
6.4, 6.7 on the cap strategy.
You have, that's right. You have
It's
two.
the-
You have
there's
two.
three-
You have 3 different products.
Yeah,
Three
so that's
different
product-
strategies inside the one product. Yes.
Okay.
That's the first bucket option.
Yeah.
Right. I'm
That's
Trying to go back and forth.
6%,
Right.
'Kay.
67%.
So what they're willing to do is say, hey, look, we'll give you 20% of the upside of the market year after year for a 10% buffer on the downside. But if the market goes down 20%, you took a 10% loss.
So there's. I'm just thinking 2 different products.
Right.
So they've got the cornerstone and the structured capital strategy.
Right.
Structured is where it's similar to this.
It's
Okay.
a time frame. It's
Right.
not year
Right.
after year after
Right.
year. Here's the problem in my eyes with the time frame. If you put in 100 today, it can go 110, 120, 130, 120, 110, 100, and what do you have 5 years
It
later?
depends on what product we're going.
Right. Depends on the strategy you use.
Right. So, okay.
Ours locks every year along the way, or every 2 years, depending on how you want to use it.
Okay.
Okay. Now, my upside with throwing the PIMCO in is where you'll change. My point to this is, you can see what the market's done. You can see what you capture. Even in negative years, you'll get a 0, so your money won't go down.
Right. Okay.
Over 27 years,
And this is the index. So
this is just the cap bucket alone, and that's it.
So the indexed. Okay.
First product option.
Okay.
The S&P
sense.
6.7, right?
Make sense? You put $100,000 in, you took 0. See, here's the thing. You can't say 0 downside risk in their product, right?
Right.
And that's what clients want to hear. Look, you put $100,000 into this contract, you took 0 risk in the market, and you got a $362,000 value 30 years later. Where are you going to find that? Right? Now, if you use my 50% participation bucket of the S&P, that number is going to be even higher, right? And we just added that bucket at 50%, so I don't even have it in here. But what I did do is I wanted to show you the PIMCO bucket, the 1.75 spread.
That's
Okay?
the hurdle one.
That's the hurdle. Year 1, it did 23%. You got 0 because it's a 2-year bucket. Remember, you're going to get every 2 years. So 100 stays 100 the first year, which is kind of a little bit of an Achilles heel, because clients don't want to see a 23% return and have a 0 credit, right? Even though when the next year pops at 16, you captured 40.4. Your 100,000 jumped up $40,000 in 2 years. This is the PIMCO bucket.
It's about showing them over the time, like don't get hung up on a year.
Right. The next year it does 11. The year after that it does 20. You get a 30% bump. You jump up to 183. But then when you start getting some negative returns in there, it gets a little bit scary, because 183, 183, 183, 183, before you start seeing some returns again at 27%, bumps you up to 232. My point of showing this to you is 30 years later, your $100,000 grew to $1,063,000 with 0 downside risk
Yeah.
and 0 cost structure. I don't care what product you put us up against. That's going to be a strong, strong story. Okay? Now what I did is I split it. I put 50% of the money in the S&P cap and 50% of the money in the PIMCO bucket.
Okay.
Okay, so some of it has a cap, some of it has a spread. These are the returns you got out of each bucket, but when all's said and done, this is the number you captured out of that. Year one, you captured 3.2%, so your 100,000 jumps to 103.
Okay.
The next year you captured 22, you're at 126. The next year's is 0 because it was a negative year, you stayed 126. Next year's 19. You'll notice almost all the time, every other year is your pop year for the most part. Put in $100,000, splitting between the two buckets, 30 years later you grew to 712. Okay?
Solid.
If the client has a hard time seeing a return every other year, they're going to give up some growth, but you can do that for them.
Okay.
You don't have to go 50-50 either. You can put 75% of the money in the PIMCO, 25% in the cap.
Oh,
Depends
you
on
can
how
allocate
aggressive you
within
wanna
the
be.
bucket?
Sure. I got a fixed bucket that we haven't even talked about yet. I've got a fixed bucket that earns 2.75% right now, locked for 1 year. So if you wanted just to take some money out of the money market and say, look, if you're nervous to go into these other buckets, even though there's no downside risk, you want to give it a test run for the first year, dump the money all in the fixed bucket and give them 2.75. They'll love you to death because they're earning a quarter point
And then you can still roll that after.
and then after the 1 year, when you get your statement on the back, it gives you 20 days to pick the next bucket you want. Roll it into the S&P bucket, or split it 50-50, or do what you want.
And they're in for the year?
And then they're in for the year.
They can
It's every
reallocate.
year reallocated. After 7 years, you're liquid. But you keep doing that year after year. If you like 50-50 and you don't want to mess with it, which is the overwhelming majority of my advisors,
Okay.
you just let it keep rolling over.
Okay.
Okay?
How late will you do appointments?
When you want me here.
If I've got a client at 7 o'clock, will you be here?
Sure.
Okay.
You just got to give me.
Is there a limit?
No,
Like,
it's-
if it's only 25 grand, you want to come in for 25 grand? That's
Business is business in my eyes. I don't
Okay.
care if it's 25 or if it's 250.
Okay.
If we're doing business together, you're my client. I'm
Okay.
taking care of you just like you're going to take
because
care
I got to
of your
learn
clients.
how to do these the
That's
first
fine.
few. So I.
That's
Okay.
fine. No
Okay.
problem. Just try to give me heads up. I do have 3 little ones. I've
Okay.
got football practice and
Okay.
ballerina stuff and all kinds of.
Good dad,
Are you
Sam.
doing that?
I'm the
Yes.
ballerina, yeah.
So those are-
Okay,
those are-
now I'm going to change everything for you. This is where our product gets absolutely amazing in my eyes.
You didn't like that last one?
We have a product called the Multiplier.
I'm gonna need you more than
Multiplier.
like. Can we schedule
No.
them like every week?
The Multiplier, sure, I'm coming.
Well, this is
Multiplier
high-level overview.
is a rider that goes on this. So you're still talking about the exact same product. This is just the income rider you can elect.
Equals income rider.
Yep.
A guaranteed income benefit. rider?
Guaranteed income benefit rider, whatever
And
you
it
want
can
to call
be
it.
held within which product?
The
GM.
power index annuity.
Okay.
Guaranteed.
Well, with the
Minimum
index we're talking about, everything we just went through,
Rider.
Yeah.
you can add an income rider to
GMIR.
it.
I see.
GMIR.
I didn't realize it was, okay.
Yeah.
it's
So a
rider.
lot of companies don't have these on their annuities. So the old annuities from 5, 6, 7, 10 years ago may not have the guaranteed minimum income rider. It's important to know.
Yeah.
Well, especially for clients that are planning retirement, you want to have guaranteed minimum income.
So did you guys get to see the Tom Hegna thing that talked about guaranteed income? Did you see that
Oh,
one?
yeah, the video that you played from YouTube? Yeah.
Alright, so income rider, multiplier.
Yep.
Guaranteed minimum income rider.
Okay. And then
I gotta learn everything again. Jesus Christ.
This is where my brain starts tingling, dude. I love this stuff.
okay.
I've already got a headache. I've already taken excited.
Oh, dude, I'm on another level here.
So the rider, if you want to add it to the Income Plus product, is 95 basis points.
Which is better than AXA.
That's your all-in cost. There's no M&E. There's no fund charges. Your rider charge is 95 basis points. Single or joint.
Okay.
Your distributions for life at 65 are 5 1/4 single or 4.7 joint. At 72, it's 6 1/2 single or 6% joint, which are huge distribution options at 72.
So 65, you get 5.25 or
4.75.
And if I've already put people into AXA,
6.5 or 6?
not moving them out of AXA, put them in here.
Yep.
6.5 or 6?
Yes.
I'm not moving them out of AXA to put them in here, I can't.
No.
He had to wait it out, maybe new clients.
But it's, if they've got the structure, if they've got the cornerstone, I can't even do it because they get the guaranteed 7% bump for 5 years.
If the
Yeah.
value, the cash value is close to the guaranteed value, then you can move it. I can help you with that all day long. I can help you figure out what
Say that
makes
one more
sense.
time?
If your cash value and your guaranteed value, if you can show a better story for the client in the future,
Right.
they'll let you move it. You
Right.
can do a 1035 or qualified transfer.
Right.
I can even help you do underwater contracts. Guaranteed value is 200, cash value is 180. I can help you move that out with our distribution options. It all depends on if they're out of surrender,
Right.
how far apart the gap is. So when you look at the traditional annuity world, right, you're getting all these great features, 5% up, daily step ups, growth in the market, but there is a point where the guarantee separates from the cash value, right?
Yeah.
And the guarantee's here and the cash value's here. It's very hard to catch up, which means when the client turns on income, it's gonna be flat, stagnant income for the rest of their life, right? The cash value never beats that high watermark number, you're never gonna get a raise. The multiplier changes that story completely. We break the product down into two phases. We've got the accumulation phase, and we've got the distribution phase. And in the accumulation phase, whatever your credit is from the index, double it, and that's your income base increase.
Say that one more time.
So whatever the credit is from the income that you, or the index you were invested in, you double it in the years.
I'm losing you, I'm sorry.
So year one, you put in $100,000, and let's say you track the S&P, right?
Mhm.
And you're doing the cap, and let's just say hypothetically the cap is just 6 for simplicity's sake, right? Put in $100,000, you're watching the S&P, the end of the year comes up and it was a 8% return, so you captured a full 6%. Your cash value goes up to 106 minus your 95 basis point charge.
Okay,
Which-
give me a second. So it's 6.7 now.
Yes,
So I'm gonna go 6.7.
That's
Sorry.
fine.
I know you did it for easy math.
that's okay.
So 106 even.
106, 700?
Yep. But your income base would go to 113.4
Because of the.
because it doubles the credit.
Oh, the credit of the 6.5% or 6%. I see.
The trade-off is the base points, right?
The 95.
Yeah, you're paying for that,
Yeah.
okay?
That seems like a good deal because you're
Yeah.
only
Oh,
paying
this is an absolutely
$950.
amazing deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So last year, the PIMCO bucket did 23, right?
Mm.
Assuming you take away your 1.75 spread from the 23, you're looking at about 21, let's say. Your client got a 42% raise in their income base that year.
Wow, doubled it.
Their cash value went to 121 or whatever it is. Their income base went to
So it's almost an
140.
inflation index on the income, on the value.
But the beautiful part is, once you start taking distributions, most growth features on an annuity stop. Like you don't
Right.
get income raises.
Right.
Whatever your credit is in the distribution, you keep it as a raise.
Keep what? I'm sorry.
So if you
Again,
got a
I'm sorry, dude, I've got
6.7,
headaches,
it's
so-
okay, no, you're fine. If you got a 6.7%,
Okay.
you got a 6.7% raise, even though you took a 5% withdrawal or 5.25% withdrawal and paid 95 basis points, you still had a raise.
You take,
I'm gonna
Give-
show you.
give me a number, thank
I'm
you.
gonna show you. You guys ready? All right. So what I did is I took a 65-year-old and I deferred for, or I took a 60-year-old and I deferred taking income for 5 years so I can show you both sides of the fence. So what I did is I put 100% of the money in the S&P cap. It shows 5.85. That's actually 6.04 when you have the multiplier rider with the new numbers. But first year is
hold on,
12.4.
Go back, I'm sorry.
The new number is 6.04. The new rate is
Okay.
6.04%. Again, I apologize. We just went up the other day. We didn't even have the
So
illustration.
this is calculated on the older, smaller.
The number that's a little bit lower because they just changed. We need a cycle a day in the
So
hypotheticals.
as good as this is, it would be even better with the new
Yes,
numbers.
not huge. 5.8. I mean, 19 basis points more.
Small difference, but a
Yeah,
difference.
but a difference.
Yeah.
Better for the client. So first year, the S&P does 12.4. You capture 5.85 of it. Your cash value goes up to 104,789
Minus your 0.95%.
minus your 0.95. But look at what your income base went up by. 11.17. 5.85, double it, you get 11.17. Your income base went up to 111, even though your cash value only went up to 104.
But you're not taking that cash out.
You're not taking it out yet. There's 0 withdrawals for that year.
Okay, right.
Okay? The next year, the market does 27. 5.85 is what you captured. 109. You double the 5.8 again to 11.7. Your income base goes to 123.
Okay, got it.
The next year's a 0. 123 stays 123. Your cash value goes down 95 basis points. Next year, you capture 5.85. You get an 11.7 raise. The next year, the market does 4.46. You capture all of it because you're underneath your cap.
Right.
Cash value goes up. Your income base goes up by the 8.92. You take out your first withdrawal of 7,561. So your doubles are over now. That was your last double. But watch. Usually in an annuity, when your guaranteed value is 144 and your cash value is 117 and you start taking income, you're never getting a raise again, right?
Mhm.
The next year it does 7%. You capture 5.85. You get a 5.85 raise. Your 75 goes to 8,000. Next year's a 0, you stay at 8,000. Next year's 5.85, you keep it, you get an 8,472. In the distribution phase, your 7,500 grows all the way to 12,273 before you run out of money, and then we pay that for the rest of your
That's
life.
really unusual during distro.
Show me a product in the whole investment world that does that. AXA has a product like this. You guys can't sell AXA. You can't take income for 10 years. That's your caveat. With us, you can start income immediately.
What product?
The 222.
We don't have that. We don't have access to that.
Not Allianz, not AXA. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's what I was thinking.
Allianz.
What are you talking about?
You
Access.
got AXA on the brand because
But growth after distribution, I mean.
the income growth after distribution
Yeah.
is unheard of. It is the game changer for us in the separating aspect to our product. That just puts us in a spot. What I did on the next one is I ran 50% into the PIMCO and 50% in the S&P. By the way, that is the most standard election that I get. Just to run through it, first year's 2.93, you get 5.86 because we double it. The next year, because the PIMCO bucket kicks in, 22% return for the year that you captured,
get
net of spreads,
44.
you got a 44% raise. 105 jumped to 149. Next year you got a 0, so you get the 0. Next year you got an 18, you doubled it to 37, jumping you to 187. You start taking $10,000, by the time you run out of money, you're taking $18,893.
How long does the doubling go for?
As long as you wait to take a withdrawal.
So the 5 years they waited, as opposed to the 10 years that
So
could
if you
wait.
wait.
Oh, if I were old enough to
20
buy this
years?
right now, I'd be dumping money into this thing in a hot second.
If you're old enough to buy it.
How
So
old's
if you
minimum?
I'm not.
if you wait 20 years for distro and you keep doubling,
What's minimum age?
Minimum age to purchase this is 55. I'm only 42.
okay.
Now,
Okay.
no income rider,
So
just safety money, no rider, no multiplier,
Yeah.
0 to 85. You could sell an index
Say that one more
product.
time. One more time.
So if you don't have an income rider, you could sell it from 0 to 85. If you do have
Give
an
me a
income
second.
rider,
Give me a second. No income rider, 0 to 85 years old.
yep.
That was the regular one.
If you do with income rider. Okay.
55 to 80.
Now I think that's something different with AXA. I wrote the cheapest, smallest AXA I could do just to have something. So I did a $5,000 policy. So I could have taken the income right. I didn't at that point.
How old are you?
41.
You wouldn't want it. We're too
I
young.
just did $5,000 just that way I can have it so I can know a little bit more about the
Yeah,
product.
for sure. I
It's
understand.
it's
I
$5,000.
understand that.
Right.
Believe in what you're selling and
Right.
owning it is a big deal.
Life insurance what?
Explain to me again how life insurance benefits me aside from an investment. I understand the investment aspect of it and how that benefits me, but aside from
We'll
that,
talk later.
there's no death benefit. I don't need a death benefit.
It's not with the death benefit.
I'm just saying I don't need a death benefit.
So, we are in a very unique position where we have a rider that you guys can now sell that you have, like, you can compete with any financial advisor on the
Right.
street.
Yeah.
I don't understand personally why anybody would sell a variable annuity with a 5 for life payout. If I'm gonna sell a variable annuity, I better be taking 6 or 7%. Because that's what you're gonna get, that's what the benefit of that product is. But if you're gonna sell a 5 for life, why would you take any downside risk in a variable annuity?
So you keep saying 5 for life. Say that again.
5% for life distribution,
Okay.
guaranteed for life. Like a lot of companies will say at 65 you get 5 for life, kind of like I offer
Okay.
5 1/4 for life. If you're going to do that, why would you ever sell this versus this? I mean, the multiplier rider is just light years ahead. Clients are very specific with what they want. They want the unicorn, right?
Right.
They want no downside risk. They want upside potential.
Lots of growth.
They don't want to pay a lot for it, if anything, and they want to know they can never run out of money.
What's the fee for this guy?
95 basis points. That's it. All in.
You have to be 55, it has to be variable annuity index.
No, this
This
that's
multiplier,
oxymoron. It's either variable or it's indexed.
he said value indexed, what was the beginning of that index scenario? The name of it.
So there's variable annuity,
It's the
and
variable
then there's
annuity.
3 products over here. These are all indexed.
That's one product.
That's
Those are
all
just
one.
all the
Different
options
products.
available
Okay.
inside of the
So
product.
that's an
What is your
index
product
annuity.
name?
So there's the Polaris Platinum 3, which is the variable annuity.
Okay, let me write that down. Hold on. Platinum,
That's what you
I was like-
Polaris Platinum,
3.
Platinum 3,
VA.
VA. And then you have the Power Index.
Is it Polaris again or no?
Yeah.
On the indexed.
Yep. There you go. It's the Power Index Plus is what it's called. I know I overloaded you guys with a massive, massive amount of information.
Power index what? I'm sorry?
Power
Index.
index plus.
Plus, Power Index Plus.
No, I like that. I especially like the index that you guys have, especially with the different options, is very attractive.
And we're too young for the doubling at
Right.
41, 42.
Yeah.
My guy coming in a little bit is a little bit younger than us. At our age, does it make sense to do an index in any way?
Yeah.
Yes. I'm going to invest. I have some money that just came liquid that I had locked down for a while, and I'm going to do the Power Index Plus with no riders.
I am scared of
Are you gonna
taxes
do it
being higher in
50-50?
20 years, 30 years.
What's that?
Are you gonna do 50-50 bucket split?
No,
What, you gonna put it all on the hurdle? Okay.
because I understand it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to clients are different.
Do you think with the market the way it is that the hurdle's the best investment?
It's a
Approaching a bear market.
well diversified portfolio with international
That 30
exposure,
years.
and I've got to think about it this way: the hurdle. What's your hurdle in a VA? It's your 3.5% fee structure, right? And if you're up 10%, well, you're only up 7.5 because
Right.
you got 3.5 in fees.
Right.
If you're down 10%, you're actually down 13.5 because of the fees.
Right.
In an index product, if I'm up 10%, I've got a hurdle 1.75 for that
You're
year.
only doing 3.5 over 2 years.
Over 2 years. If I'm down 10%, I don't have to beat a hurdle. I'm
Right.
still at
You're
0.
just- yeah.
So the only time I pay my hurdle is if I'm in a positive market.
Yeah.
I'm going to take that all day
Well
long.
said, well said.
I just got myself in a well-diversified, international exposed portfolio with a target of 70% equity and reinvestment of dividends with 0 downside risk in the market and no cost
Oh, that's
structure.
right, reinvestment of dividends too.
Show me where I'm going to get that anywhere else.
Yeah, no,
I can stick my money in the same exact portfolio and take the roller coaster ride up and down. Why should I?
Yeah, 0.
I can just take
downside.
it up. I mean,
My only concern for people our age is our future tax exposure. For
This
people our age.
reduces it, especially if at 55. Are you able to purchase that rider once you're at 55?
no, you'd have
You'd
to
have to
roll
start
into
anew.
something new.
Okay.
You're tax deferred in the index
Right, that's
product.
my problem. I don't want to pay taxes in 30 years.
Why?
Again, she's heard this a million
Uncertain
times.
tax rates.
I completely disagree, but that's just because I feel like there's going to be a lot of mitigation of that risk. But
I disagree as well. Because if you were 30 years ago to now, you'd be in the lowest tax bracket you've ever seen.
Yeah.
We could be in the highest tax bracket by then. We could not be. We could have cycled through.
I agreed.
There's no way to know that.
Right. And
So
I
the
feel
best
like,
bet is to convert to Roth if that's the scenario. But
and
then,
that's what he usually does.
But then they're
then
limited.
what's to say in 10 years from now, Uncle Sam, the new president, then doesn't come out and say, you know what, anybody moving forward or not grandfathered in has to pay a distribution fee on a Roth.
Oh, F that.
They could change
They could
laws
change
and
it.
regulations, so that's my, but see, I'm a believer in it. I'm saying, I'm hoping that if they ever did something like that, they would grandfather the people who have been in Roths already,
And life
somehow,
insurance.
some way, and life insurance, because my Roth, like, or my 401k has the Roth option up to the 18 max.
Awesome.
So I fund all 18
Good.
Roth, and then they match me the 6% to my
Right.
traditional
Right.
401k. So I'm loading up on the tax free. I'm all in with you.
Right.
The only difference with this is you can control the tax aspect of it. You're only going to get taxed on what you take out
Right.
Right, and that's another one of
versus
my arguments.
taxes on everything along the way. So could you be right? Sure. Could you be wrong? Sure. There's like no real
Right.
way to tell, and it's a valid concern to be very honest with you. It can go your way or our way.
It's all
Like,
speculation.
it's all speculation.
What's funny is I agree in terms of the conservatism. I am a conservative investor, but in all aspects, when it comes to fiscal policy, political aspects like you mentioned,
Anything's up for grabs.
Yeah, anything's up for grabs. I mean, Canada could come in and be like, "Hey, let's be friends again, and we're gonna give everything to you half off."
We're converting you to the loony,
We're
by
done.
the way.
It's
You know,
it's only
just-
gonna be a certain matter of time before these other countries have to start playing ball again. In my eyes, I don't feel like
Yeah.
everybody could just hold out.
Well, and plus they only have to hold out another however long the term lasts, or however long they have to deal with it, and then they can switch gears all over again. China's president just switched over to a life term. He'll be there for a while. So, yeah, I feel like there's gonna be a lot of mitigation.
Hi, Kate's Badu, your 415 is here.
Okay. I'll
All
be
right,
with you.
all right.
Cool.
So
We have to do more of these because I got to master this.
I'm in.
Okay.
I mean, if you want me back in a week, I can set
Tomorrow.
something.
No, I'm joking.
I could probably make it happen if we.
No, I'm
Um,
Thank you so much for coming in.
No problem, man. I
Yes.
appreciate
Feel
it.
Thank you for making that
Um,
interesting. You kept it light.
So Wednesday, nope, that doesn't work.
You know what? Let's go 2 weeks because I just realized next week I'm in my national sales meeting in Minneapolis.
Slacker for going to a national sales meeting. Huh?
Yes.
Yeah, I go to those
Ignore
all the
half of
time.
what he says.
Then the next
25th?
week. Actually, I'm up north. I could do the 23rd,
23rd, let's see.
which is a Monday.
Melinda and Jason go through
Morning or
emails.
afternoons?
What?
Open slot.
Three's good. Same slot as today.
Sure, if that works for you.
Third, not through.
I didn't do it. So,
Yeah,
Jim,
you're correct.
Jim,
Oh, yeah, you don't have a
Jim.
phone.
Gotta ask, who's your auto insurance with?
Farmers.
Oh, who's your agent?
That's it. Nice.
What's his name? Adams.
The fact that you can't
Adam
remember.
Robbins, I think it is.
I was gonna say the fact that you can't remember is not a good sign.
That's not a
No,
good sign.
It's not a good sign.
So I
Is
don't
he
have
writing
your-
anything through you?
No.
Okay.
I've never even met him in person.
Oh, dude,
Oh,
sit,
dude.
okay, please sit down with your agent. Seriously, please sit down with your agent.
I'm not gonna be with him much longer.
Don't,
Well,
I
maybe you
would
can
not
switch
leave
over to
farmers.
us.
I would not leave farmers. We're the best of the best. I would
Ask
not
them
leave
to
farmers.
switch you to this evening.
So I know you don't have a card with you. In case I have any questions. about-
602
You got it.
738 3717.
Oh, what is this 793 number?
That will go straight to the phone number I just gave you to.
Uh,
That's this, it gets forwarded.
What's
straight
your
to
cell
this.
phone number?
602
I'm sorry, one more time. Your
602.
cell phone number is 602?
738
Okay,
3717. And that's direct to me.
okay. I would not leave farmers. You have the best.
I don't have a desire to leave farmers, I just
Your
gotta
agent.
leave him.
Okay.
And it's Jim Meyer.
Yep.
Again, you help me, I will help you. So I helped make Melissa last year. Melissa's my AXA rep. But I
It's
gotta
great
do the right
meeting
thing for
you,
my
Jim.
clients.
Yeah, thanks
Very
again.
nice meeting you too.
Thank
Yes,
you.
thank you.
Look forward to working
Okay.
with you.
Taking
Cool,
these, yeah,
cool.
for sure.
That was awesome.
Thanks, Jason.
Good,
Appreciate
good.
it.
And next time we'll just focus on one product.
Okay.
And we'll
No, I
just
just-
do index because
I've
no,
had a
that's
headache all
just
day.
so many numbers.
I just had a headache all day. I've almost died twice. I don't trust insurance companies, so I've had two major car accidents and I get headaches really bad.
Ooh, that stings.
It really does.
What day was that we said? The 23rd.
I'm going back to calendar, 23rd, I'm gonna go 3 to 4:30. and I'm gonna see if I can get Ron in here.
You are locked and loaded. my
Ron
friend.
is life licensed. Matter of fact, I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to invite him. Okay, I can't do that. I'll just have to do it. Awesome, awesome. Thank you.
And I've got your personal email too.
Cool. That's yours.
That's yours.
I don't,
You don't need
I
it.
don't do paper.
No emails, no paper. How do you get things done?
We do plain white paper,
This
so we
is-
can write on it.
This is the marketing lit for the multiplier, kind of like a actual approved piece, just to kind of refresh you.
I will see you next week. I
Sounds
don't want
good.
to waste your time. I don't
That's
want to lie
fine,
to
you're
you.
fine, you're fine. No
I'm
worries.
not gonna lie to
I
you.
can respect that.
Because they keep me in so many appointments that I learn by seeing, hearing, and working. Okay, thank you. That was awesome. I look forward to learning more from you and going further. So this has been great.
Yep.
Do you want me to back up? Back
If
up.
you know anybody who, at Farmers, who's interested in this stuff, Monday.
That was an amazing product.